I'm Desi, I'm juror number 1, and this is my Ponderosa.
There's a lot.
Definitely there was a healer who flipped tonight, and I sort of knew going into tribal that the healers' votes were all over the place, but I thought we had decided on one place to place those votes. So I know that clearly I was lied to a million times, so there's no way to know what was going through people's heads, really and truly. Hello.
Have a seat.
Your luck didn't work for me.
I'm sorry.
I can't say I'm excited to be here, but you know, now that it's here, I guess I'll make the best of it.
Compared to a lot of the contestants we see 3 weeks in, you don't look like you've changed a great deal. You still look like quite high energy. You don't look like you've lost lots of weight either. How do you feel? Do you think you've lost much weight?
I don't feel like I've lost a ton of weight.
Okay.
And I feel like I'm low energy, but I have enough energy to do what needs to be done.
You weighed, do you remember how much you weighed before you came in?
No, I didn't look because I didn't want to know how fat I was.
Okay. You were exactly 150 pounds.
Okay.
Any guesses what you might be now?
Probably like 145. I don't think I've lost
Really?
much weight at all.
Okay.
I wasn't too far off.
What does it say?
142.8, I think.
Okay, so that's
Like 7 pounds.
over 7 pounds. So
Yeah.
that's not a bad amount.
I should be a supermodel by now. So arrival at Ponderosa is very bittersweet. I mean, obviously, you're at sort of an all-time low, just knowing that this game you put so much into, you're no longer a part of the game, but technically you are still part of the game. So it's cool to be the first member of the jury, and I get to sort of set the tone for Ponderosa. Hello. Oh, there's wine. I dig wine. Oh my gosh, I'm so dirty. At home, I think I spend a reasonable amount of time in front of the mirror, so it's weird to have not seen myself in literally a solid 3 weeks. It was weird to even have the opportunity to choose what I wanted to eat, because for 21 days it's been rice. And so to be able to like order food like the way I want it cooked was a novel idea. So I was able to have a few glasses of wine, you know, probably way more food than I should have eaten. I had fish and lobster and French fries and pizza and cheesecake, which is a whole lot of food, but I was making up for lost time, right? So it was nice. It was a good little welcome home meal. I don't think I have any secret. I think I'm gonna eat whatever I want for 2 days, and then I'll start working out and trying to be sensible in what I eat. But for the next 2 days, I have no plans but to eat everything. I don't look as bad as I thought I looked, except for the fact that I'm dirty. I'm kind of wide awake, but I think once I take a hot shower, that'll all change, and I'm sure I'll have no problem falling asleep in a bed. Isn't this nice? Enjoy your stay. But I guess I get to pick like this big bed. I don't have to sleep in one of the little ones. A toothbrush. Oh, there's a shower. Oh, I can't wait to be clean. Throw these clothes in the garbage can. We were talking about how great a towel would be today, just to like actually be dry. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like it here. I mean, I've never done anything like this before. If I've gone camping, like I camp for 2 days at a time. Usually my car is right next to my tent, and there are showers. So I made it 21 days with none of those modern luxuries. I'm sure there's never been a day that's passed in my life that I've not looked in the mirror, and I just made it 21 days not looking in the mirror, which is a feat in and of itself. So I still feel good about what happened in the game, and I didn't ever lose myself and my sanity regardless of the bizarre conditions that we were put in. Normally when I'm at home, if I wake up on time, I'll make a little omelet with like spinach and mushrooms typically. And then some days when I'm on the go, I just drink a ton of coffee, and that's my breakfast. So this is certainly a treat. I don't eat all this every day for breakfast. So one of the staff members here is vying for the title of Miss World Fiji, which is exciting to me, obviously, because I have a pretty extensive pageant career. And this is her very first pageant.
Oh yeah, you have to give me advice because this is like the first time ever for me. And then,
Yeah.
and it was surprisingly, I never actually wanted to go for it, but someone actually recommended me, you should go for it. And I said, okay, why not?
I offered to sort of give her a walking lesson, and hopefully she takes me up on that offer. I don't have any heels, but I'm sure she does. And I'd love to kind of share, I don't know if I can call it my expertise, but I certainly have had quite a bit of experience. All right, so I figured we would practice in front of the mirror. That way you can like see what you're doing and see the way you pose and all that. The only thing I would say, all right, so I'm gonna do essentially the same thing you did and walk back, and then I'll kind of talk you through what I did differently. But for me, you look taller when you almost lean back a little bit when you walk. And so you lead with your hips as you walk. It doesn't matter which foot first. Just think lead with your hips and let your arms relax, okay? Let them swing with you. All right, and go. And we'll pose. Elbows back, chest up. Perfect. And so remember we're looking at the judges, and we're gonna turn and keep our eyes on the judges. And then take a step before you start turning and looking forward. Good. Right now you're here, like this hip is lifted. Let that hip drop some. So drop into that hip. There you go. And it went great. I mean, I think afterwards it's most important to go on stage and feel confident. And she seemed to be super confident after the lesson. And I had a good time. It was fun to sort of share the tips of the trade with someone else. And she was super grateful for it, which makes the experience all that much rewarding for me, at least, when I could tell that somebody really appreciates my help. Beautiful! And your body is like It does feel awkward, and it's a little bit scary, especially in a game where deception is sort of part of it, to share that much openness with people who really are essentially strangers was scary. But then I realized that nothing bad happened after I shared those emotions. So maybe it is okay to share a little bit of sadness and anger and everything that I've always kind of kept inside. And I really did see my game crumbling before my eyes, like literally, because I had a really hard time being deceptive and telling the lies that have really become a part of the game of Survivor. So it was tough, and I mean, there were a lot of tears that went along with this predicament in my head. But at the end of the day, I couldn't betray my authentic self. And so Survivor was the type of thing where instead of me doing something to please somebody else, I decided this is something that I want to do for me, because it's something that excites me and I feel passionate about doing. And so I'm hoping that this is the catalyst that takes me on to bigger, better things. But knowing that I've had this experience and been somewhat successful, been pretty successful, I now have a little bit more confidence in knowing that it's okay to take a risk. And things may not always turn out as you expect them to turn out, but at the end of the day, it'll be okay, and I can brush myself off and keep moving forward.